So, I have the most Pisces fucking energy thing. So, did you know that nostalgia was considered a disease in the 17th and 18th century?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. It was literally diagnosed as a disease, which is freaking insane, because maybe I'm not the best person to be asking about this, but I think nostalgia is a emotion that is necessary, but I do think too much of it will have you down bad.
Exactly.
Like, I could be probably better at not focusing on the past, but sometimes I feel like I need to listen to certain songs, watch certain movies, on the nostalgia of it all is like healing. Weird ass fucking Jason. Do you remember when he fell at the fucking...
Yes.
Was it the Grammys or the Oscars? It was something where there was a lot of stairs.
Right.
And he fell down those stairs.
Yeah.
The pictures are like him like flipping over.
Right.
I would actually like just give up on life and move somewhere far away.
I wouldn't come
never have a cellular phone.
They would just think I died after that fall.
He did.
R.I.P.
He died of embarrassment.
Oh my god. I couldn't.
I would not go. I simply would not go on.
I literally could not go on from the embarrassment that I felt.
No, I would cry every day.
Everybody's judging me.
I know. What's a sign? Let's look up his sign.
Jason Derulo.
Is he a fire sign? Because
he has to be.
The fact that he's choosing to go on.
He has to be. Which one is the question?
No, he's actually a fucking Virgo.
No way.
This is a Virgo at their highest vibration.
Wait, I need to know the full chart now. I need to know the full
embarrassment
chart.
Who?
Right.
Virgos get embarrassed so easily. How can he be a Virgo and not be embarrassed by the fact?
Oh
I mean, also people would argue that falling is a very normal thing.
It's true.
And, like, it's not that embarrassing, I guess. But still, it's embarrassing to me.
I mean, okay, well, here's the thing. You're right. To fall is not embarrassing. I trip all the time over my own 2 feet. However,
he's a Gemini moon.
For it to be played over and
Libra,
over
Mercury.
again.
Wait, why does he have a lot of similar placements?
He got your chart?
He's a Virgo sun. He's a Gemini moon. Libra, Mercury, Scorpio, Venus. Mars and Libra. It's the Mars and Libra. He just couldn't stand his ground. He just had to fall. Well, I mean, Gemini moon, he has audacity. It's one thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. For sure. And you were so right. When Virgos reach their, like, highest power, like, they don't give a fuck.
No.
Like, think of Cal Williams. He don't give a fuck.
It's so true.
And that's why they should
be. Because Virgos have a lot of strong opinions.
Yeah.
And I think the world needs to hear them more.
Yeah. I totally agree. Stand in your truth, baby.
Yeah. I mean, also,
I love that
isn't Jada Pinkett Smith?
Yeah, she is.
She has that red tabletop.
Listen.
She'd be listing out all the most embarrassing shit.
She does.
And making money off of it.
It's true. Listen. No shame. Love an energy who stands in their fucking truth. I think that
stand on
it's
business.
So hot. Like, it's so hot. Even if you're wrong. I'm not even playing with you. No. Well, it depends on how wrong you are and what about you, right? But even if you're wrong or, like, what I'm trying to say is if I don't agree with you.
Yeah. The confidence of them being like that.
If you can stand 10 toes down in that shit, I'm like, that's hot.
Yeah. I bet your Sagittarius energy loves that because you're like, that's me. I like that you're passionate about that.
Tell me more about how you feel.
And how no one can change your opinion.
Yes.
And that you are God.
Yeah. Fucking.
I mean, I'd rather have that than someone that's like a fucking on the fence all the time.
You know?
Because at least I know where I stand with you.
Exactly.
And your opinions and your personality.
Right.
You know? Like, you're so passionate. Like, clearly this is who you are.
Yes.
It's the people that are in the middle that scare me more, actually.
No, I agree.
What you mean you're always in the middle?
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I realize I need energy that's upfront.
Yeah.
Isn't shy.
Yeah.
To say how they're feeling. Isn't embarrassed about it. You know what I mean? Like, I would hate when people would try and, like, sneak around and be like, oh, I don't have these feelings, or like I'm scared to like share shit. I don't trust that energy.
No.
Like, scream that shit from the rooftops so I know it's real.
Yeah. And also, then you're giving me the power to make a decision by myself on whether I fuck with your energy or you. When you're always wishy-washy, you're not really giving me the chance to decide whether I really like you, who you are to your core.
Right.
You know? I'm kind of on this wishy-washy shit with you. Because depending on who you are today, I'm like, do I like you? Do I not? Right. Just be yourself so we can decide if this is a waste of time or not.
Right.
In friendship, relationship, whatever.
Right. And if you don't have a decision on it, you could say that too. But, like, don't be like, I don't know, flip-flopping all the time.
It's giving Tom Schwartz, you know? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Me either. I don't trust it, more importantly. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because, like, we're both very much, like, decisive people who are, like, well, we can be indecisive.
Yeah,
too. But in terms of, like, who we are and what we like and what we don't like, we have no problem sharing that with people. Like, I know what side of history I'm on. I know the kind of person I am. I know my boundaries. I know what I like and I don't like.
Right. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Exactly. Like, depending on who you are, it's not going to change how I act.
Right.
Like, I'm always... And it's been a journey, but, like, I've definitely learned to just let people know who I am from the jump. Because that saves us both from being hurt later on. Yeah. You can only fake it for so long, you guys. And I think the younger you are, you're faking it for a while, no matter what sign. Like, you just can't help but, like, want to make everyone happy because you don't know who you are yet. You don't know what you like yet. So you're kind of going every direction, you know? But when you get older, you really, truly decide, like, who you are and what you like and what kind of people you like to surround yourself with. Yeah. And you realize it's just, although it's uncomfortable maybe for some people to just boldly say what they like and what they don't like, once you do it, it's really empowering because you're just like, I will be around the right people because I'm constantly being intentional about sharing who I am. You know, I'm not trying to hide it to appease people or to have the most amount of friends. Like, I just am myself. Yeah. And the right people will follow.
Yeah. Okay, question for you, because I feel like I've been seeing this come up a lot recently, at least on my socials, of like, when you're older, you're more likely to find your compatible person. Yeah. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that maybe when you're younger, you know, you'll find your person too? I mean, I feel like tell me what you think.
Yeah. I feel like, obviously, there's always exceptions to every rule. Yeah. Let's get that out the way. Right. But what I genuinely feel like that it does make sense for you to find your person when you're older. Yeah. Because you're more established in who you are. Now, if you're young and you meet people, I think if you guys are changing together and changing on the same path and, like, you just so happen to want the same things as you're growing and evolving, you're lucky. Yeah. Because a lot of times we don't know what we like and who we are and what makes us happy when we're younger. So you can meet someone and your values can align when you're young, but as you're getting older together, you're becoming who you really are to your core, hopefully. And if those two things don't align, both of you are going to feel uncomfortable in this relationship. Yeah. Because, again, you're growing separately. So it's harder to empathize with each other. It's harder to have things in common. Yeah. You know, when you're older and you're established and you get along with someone, you know you've done a lot of the growing already. You know what you like. So it means that your values probably align. Yeah. You know? Yeah. More often than not. No, what do you think?
No, I totally agree. And I feel like it probably would be easier to a certain extent as you get older because you feel more convicted in who you are and what you like. Yeah. But as you were talking to, I was like, shoot, maybe on the flip side, though, like playing devil's advocate, maybe, like, you get too particular of, like, what you're looking for. I agree. And, like, you're almost, like, not open to working it out, right? Yeah. Because here's the thing. In any relationship, nobody's going to be perfect. I agree. Like, you have to learn to compromise and work with people and just figure out who that person is you want to do that with. And I do still ultimately feel like that gets easier as you're a little bit older because you know what you want. You're not testing it out. Yeah. 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 But that just popped into my mind that maybe that could be a thing. And I feel like maybe that's why older people feel, like, scared sometimes.
No, I think you're making a really good point. It's honestly so true. Yeah. You can get so comfortable that you get in your own way.
Yeah.
When it comes to forming new connections.
Yeah.
Because you're so set in stone of like, well, I know I'm great, so I need to find my equal, which is someone that is exactly like me. It's like, no, that's also going too far on the other side of the spectrum.
Totally.
Like, I think you should know what you like, but you should also be willing to take on some qualities from your partner no matter what.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you get with someone, the most beautiful thing is when there's synergy and your energies are intertwining together.
Yeah.
And in a healthy way, you're picking up some of their favorite things, they're picking up some of your favorite things. It's just becoming this partnership that is fully aligned with each other, you know? I think when people get older, they kind of get a little bit more self-righteous, where they think like, I figured it all out, and like, this is who I am, and if you want to be with me, you're going to do things like me. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, we all still have our individuality, no matter how old we are.
Right.
So if you're controlling because you're older and wiser, like that, I mean, maybe some people like that. To me, that's not fun. Like, I want us to still have our own personality.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, fundamentally, we need to agree on certain things.
Yeah. You know, as you were talking, it kind of made me think, and I feel like I see this so much in the reality love shows. So, like, I feel like people, as they get older, they're like, I know what I like.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily know what they need still.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what you may like is not ultimately what you need. Like,
yes, what's healthiest for you.
Yeah,
what's going to make a good, like, partnership.
Well, I think people think that there comes an era of self-love where you look at yourself and you're like, I like that. It becomes toxic if you're like, I will only like people that are like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can love yourself but still be open to other people's individuality and personality.
Yeah.
Like, just because you like all the shit that you like about yourself doesn't mean that, like, every other person you meet needs to be exactly like you.
Oh, for sure.
Like, flexibility is something that is so important in life, but we don't put emphasis on. I think people feel more comfortable liking people that are like them.
Oh, for sure. And who will do exactly what they like to do. Like, it just kind of reminds me of, like, my cat theory. Like, if a man doesn't like cats, like, I can't trust him. Yeah. Because to me, that means, like,
he can't control you, so he doesn't like you.
Exactly. Like, you can't accept my individuality. You can't accept the fact that sometimes I'm gonna be moody and
you need space.
Exactly. Do things on my own. I don't fucking need you. I want you here.
That's
hard for some people to understand, and they're not comfortable with that. Some people need to feel like they're in control, and that energy freaks me the fuck out.
Well, I bet
my Sagittarius, Aquarius,
for sure. Yeah,
like no.
No, it's true, and some people fucking need that. Like, they don't feel wanted unless someone's stuck on them like white on rice. You know what I mean? So like, that's why it's important to find people who It's just also, like, when you're older, it's harder to change people. So like them as they are or don't like them at all.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, that is very much true. And, like, that's why there's all these controversies about people that date, like, you know, people that are way younger. Like, it happens a lot. Like, there's obviously cougars, but it happens a lot with men that are older. They love going for young girls because they're more impressionable. They're easier to manipulate. They can kind of shape and mold them to become who they want, the older man. So, and again, some women can do it to younger men too. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, that's why people don't do it to people their own age, because, like, they are very much set on who they are, and they're not as likely to change themselves to make this relationship work. Right. But I think there's, like, a delicate dance of, like, this is who I am, and these are the things that I can definitely shift a little bit to make this work. Right. And these are things that I'm indifferent about when it comes to myself, so maybe I do want to change that part of myself. Yeah. But there's certain parts of yourself that you really like and you know are non-negotiables, and you're not going to let them go. And those are the things you need to figure out at some point in your life. Hopefully in mid-20s you start thinking about it, late 20s you start kind of enforcing it, and by 30s you have it locked down. Yeah. These are the things I like about myself, and no matter who I meet, I can't change that. Yeah, and if you don't like that, then you ain't fucking with me, then and I ain't fucking rocks, with you. Motherfucker. Right. Kick rocks. Bring that back. That's like such a, like, iconic fucking, like, as a water sign. I don't know why. It's very much like, you know, like, kick rocks. Like, get out of here. No, literally. Yeah. Kick rocks barefooted.
Oh, stub your toe. That's a different kind of hate and torture.
Oh, it's so true. Like, when my toe hits the corner of my bed, it hurts. Yeah. I can't even imagine what it feels like to hit a fucking rock. Yeah, so right. That's crazy. Speaking of dating reality shows, I just think it's so funny that Love is Blind is at its height, really. Oh, yeah. Like, during Pisces season, the most delusional season of all time. It is perfect. People are so delusional during Pisces season, and Pisces energy sometimes is delusional. Sometimes it works to their favor because they manifest shit. Sometimes they're just living in la la land, and none of the shit they're doing or saying makes any sense. Right. So I think it's really funny. Like, Love is Blind itself gives me very DELULU Pisces energy. Yeah. Of like, let's pretend. Is love blind? No, motherfucker, it's not. It's not. Right. We've
learned time and time again that it's
any not, of the fucking couples that have ended together are with people that they find attractive. You're not going to fucking marry someone and be with them if you don't find each other attractive. Yes. Love is not blind. Am I going to keep watching this show? Yes. Because it's messy and I like it and I like people lying to themselves and I like And listen, I like not having drama in my life. I like witnessing drama and dissecting it.
Sociologists.
Oh, for sure, right? Yeah.
I can barely say the profession.
I am. I don't need a degree. I got my doctorates in sociology.
Yes, at DELULU University.
No, DELULU University, baby.
Sociology, no. PhD.
PhD. What's one even higher than that? Right. 1080 HD. How do you feel about, like, Love is Blind coming out during Pisces season? Like, really
honestly, it makes so much sense to me because I know Pisceans to be hopeless romantics. Like, even when it's clearly not going to be here, the energy will persist with love and pursuit. And I feel like
they believe in love.
That is the energy I'm feeling all as I'm watching the show.
Oh,
I'm sure it wasn't recorded during Pisces season.
No, it wasn't.
As I'm
that's what we're witnessing.
Riding the roller coaster, I'm
everyone's delusional.
Feeling it.
They're all delusional in their own way.
Oh, they are.
Like, I just look at them and I'm like, what?
Like,
even the healthy couples, some of the conversations they're having, I'm like, huh?
What healthy couples?
Well, blonde Lord Farquaad and the...
no, but,
like, they're like, well, if you're watching, there's gonna be fucking spoilers. We've watched a season finale.
Right, spoilers.
Like, they get married, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's why they were boring, because they're probably gonna fit together. They're probably gonna have babies. They're fine.
The marriage was cute.
Yeah, it was. No, they're cute. They clearly get along. Their families like each other. I'm here for it.
It was cute when she brought
it confused me that he was so confused about sex and birth control.
I really hated that. It was giving...
He just made it seem like...
underlying...
Like, he was just being so weird. I'm like, have you never heard of condoms? And, like, why
really
are you, like, all the girls I know have been on birth control. Did you take them to the doctor? And, like, it's not up to her to always be doing that shit. You can do other things. You can get your vasectomy, too.
Oh, 100%.
Get your vasectomy.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. You want to fuck
Why does it always have to be the woman's
responsibility? No, seriously. I don't like that shit. You guys, I don't.
I really don't.
You know how much fucking shit happens to a woman's body when they take birth control? And first, again, this is not a fucking health podcast,
right?
But this is an experience. As a woman, I know plenty of women, and I've seen both sides. I've had to be on birth control because it helps with other things. A lot of women, it helps them with other things. I
started taking it because it helped with my cramps.
Yes, same. It managed my. I would have to be sometimes go to the doctor from how bad my cramps were.
Yeah,
it was terrifying. So many other reasons. Some people it helps with their acne. Like, it literally helps with so many other ways. But on the other end of it, this is something that is really affecting a woman's hormone cycle.
Yeah.
So it can really fuck with them in a lot of ways.
Right.
So I just feel like sometimes, a lot of times, men are unaware of everything that happens to a woman when she's on birth control and everything she's putting her body through. And a lot of times also women go on birth control so they can be sexually active. And same thing for men. They like it when a girl's on birth control because they don't have to worry about that shit. But it's like, it shouldn't be on the woman to prevent pregnancy. Like, both people are partaking in the act. It's not on her to be going on, birth control just to make him feel safe. Like, he should also be providing like, he should do some stuff too if he can.
No, 100%. And I feel like it just, again, shows that we live in such a sexist society because there hasn't even been as much studies on, like, what men can do. You know what I mean? Like, just recently, more things have been coming out of, like, male type of birth controls, and they're so resistant to
people are not doing it.
Because it fucks with their mood. Imagine
that. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's actually insane.
Right.
No, it's crazy.
It's so frustrating, too, because I feel like men just have such a misunderstanding of how the female body works, the women's body works, you know, and they try to tell you about it. They try to impose laws on it, and it's just like, how about you just shut the fuck up?
I have a question for you, and this may be a very, like, intense question.
Okay.
For people, like, experiencing it, but I feel like I'm very interested.
Okay.
You know how we always talk about, like, obviously the patriarchy and men, how they just don't understand how much privilege they have and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, how much is to blame do you think it's on the men and then versus, like, the people in power who created this misogynistic society?
Yeah.
Because, like, for men, they're just experiencing it. I'm not, again, you guys, ladies, I'm not making any excuses for men. If you know me, I'm always fucking here for holding men accountable.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, because they've had the privilege of living in a misogynistic society where they're in their reality, they don't have to learn these things. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just their norm. Mm-hmm. Like, where do you place the blame? And how can we change this shit? Because I don't want to say that it's not their fault because they can get educated.
Yes.
But it's like society was literally set up for them to not have to think twice about the experience of women.
No, for sure.
Again, there's no right answer, but I just thought of that and I wanted to kind of put that. And if you are listening, fucking comment.
Yeah.
Don't be misogynistic.
Right. No, I 100% agree with you.
Crazy.
Understand where you're coming from.
Ignorance is bliss.
It
is.
They
really don't have to think about it because this is what they were born into. Their moms are giving them a certain kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they're not holding them accountable because the moms also grew up in a society where men were coddled.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, I feel like in 2016, I decided I didn't want to mess with energy anymore that wasn't curious.
Yeah.
So, like, what you're kind of describing to me is totally fair to a certain extent. But, like, I can flip it and say it's the same with, like, issues of racism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
the information's out there.
Yes, and I'm not here to fucking educate you.
No.
Like, I'm not your mom. I'm not, like, this should have been taught to you. And if now you want to be with a fucking woman like me, you need to fucking figure it out.
Yeah,
because I had to figure it out too. It's not like this shit was
I'm experiencing it.
Exactly.
So I'm fighting the battle and figuring it out at the same time.
Right.
I agree. I absolutely
So why am
agree.
I having to do extra double work, you know? So in some ways,
it's not my place.
I do try and give them grace because, yes, everything was set up for them to not even stop and consider what we're going through. But I don't like anyone who isn't willing to stop and smell the roses. You get me? Like,
totally.
I want someone who is willing to be like, oh,
no,
maybe Sarah's having a different experience than me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only actually interested in those people now.
No, I absolutely agree. Because it shows a certain kind of mindset.
Yes.
Someone that is not afraid to go against the grain.
Right.
And just because it's comfortable for them to agree with everyone else, the majority, they don't necessarily think that's always the right way to go about things. Because that's how I am, and I appreciate people that are not willing to always believe what they hear.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm the complete opposite of that. I hear something, and I'm like, You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like, I
want
need to hear
to
more
kind
sources. I want to hear, like, where did this come from? Like, exactly. Because that's an attractive quality for me. And friendship, too. Mm-hmm. Like, not just relationships. Mm-hmm. It just makes me think that you're an open-minded person who is willing to also break the rules.
Right.
Because who were the rules set in place by? You know what I mean? Like, that's another question that a lot of people don't ask when it comes to anything.
Yes.
They're like, well, this is the rules. Well, who made the rules? And why did we need that rule? And sometimes some rules are good, but I'm saying a lot of times people just believe what they hear and they're too lazy to go against the grain.
Right.
And maybe they just don't believe in themselves enough to be able to have a debate or have a conversation with someone that doesn't agree with them.
Yeah.
And that to me is also pussy behavior that I'm also not attracted to.
Right. And also I think it's a little shallow. Like, you don't want to know the why behind the why of the why.
Yeah.
I do.
Agreed.
And if you don't, again, I'm not really interested in that energy anymore. Yeah. It's too exhausting.
It's too easy.
I thought I could do it easy. When I was younger. I thought it was like my life's mission to like be out here educating, teaching people. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Nobody fucking took the time to educate me.
No, I agree. You know
what I mean? Or like help me in this way that I'm out here helping other people doing the Lord's work. Like, no.
The Lord's work.
No, thank you.
I agree.
For the people who I do decide who I'm like, okay, maybe you're curious enough. I'm fucking with your energy, right?
Yeah.
And then when you don't know things, then is when I have patience and more empathy and understanding of like, okay, let me try and help you a little bit. Come to the better side.
Those moments are funny though. Like, you know, when you like, when you really fuck with somebody and you've already decided no matter what you fuck with them, but then they say something and you're like, huh. You're like, yes. Wow, this isn't gonna break us. Okay. Because I've already decided I really fuck with you. Yes. But interesting to know some lessons need to be taught.
Okay, actually.
You get what I mean?
Yes, I'm thinking of a very prominent conversation.
I'm crying.
It's coming to the forefront of my brain. You were actually there. You and Miguel were there when this happened.
When was this?
We were in Tahoe, and me and Alex were talking about, Alex is my boyfriend, we were talking about how men pee. And that I think they should wipe. And I think it's weird that they don't wipe. They just jingle it.
Yeah. That's weird. It's weird.
And we got into this whole discussion. He was like, we don't need to jingle it. Like, you have to wipe it. It was like a whole... You don't remember this? It was like a... No, we kind of... Me and him kind of got into it that night. We were like kind of drunk. Like, it was like a point of contention.
I was probably drunk as fuck.
Yeah! You were probably just like okay, let's just leave them alone.
Wait,
no,
I'm crying. It got heated. It got serious. Oh my god, see, yeah. And then, like,
because
when you're drinking, you get hyper fixated.
Well, also, I was like, why are you also fighting me so hard on this? Like, then I started to think,
do you want us to disagree?
What is happening here? Like, you're not hearing me say, you pee like I pee. Yeah. I wipe, so you should wipe.
Yeah, I agree. That's really funny.
Like, it was such a foreign concept.
I know. No. I get it. I feel like sometimes when that happens to me, when I'm thrown off, right? Because it's someone that I usually fuck with, and then they say something that I could not agree with, I could not get down with. And I feel like for me, it's harder to hide that. Because you know me. Usually, like, I'm agreeing with people. Like, not like a people pleaser, but I'm like passionate. You know what I mean? I start going off. I'm like, and they this, and I give examples.
Right.
So yeah, when someone that like I generally fuck with and I like says something that I disagree with, like I feel like more than that is when it's the hardest for me. Like, and that's when it's the hardest for me in any conversation ever. Because I'm a very social creature with people I like. I talk a lot. I can carry the conversation on my back. Yeah. Like around the world 3 times. But when that happens, that's when I'm actually taken aback, and I'm like, I cannot carry this conversation, and all of a sudden, like, everything starts getting a little bit quieter, and then I hear the voice in my head. I'm like, Sarah, you can't do your passionate thing. You're not passionate about this. You're actually quite passionate about the opposite thing that they're saying. And then I'm like, do I fight? Because I don't do the. You know me. I go off. I'm like, no, actually, like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Right. Like, when it's the thing that I don't agree with, I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? Yeah. You know? So it's like, it's just, I feel like I can't hide it, and they know. Because my usual is me hyping you up, being passionate about your argument. Facts. Telling you exactly why I feel you. Yeah. So when it's something I don't agree with, like, that is honestly a journey I'm still on of, like, how I can react to shit that I don't agree with. Yeah. Because my Leo Mars is ready to hold it down and fight my fight. But I also like you. Therefore, I don't want this to be the last time we see each other. But it can get there.
But it could be.
It could get there. With my Scorpio fucking Pluto square my Leo Mars.
No, for sure.
It can get scary. It can get scary.
Yeah. There's a lot of strong-willed
power struggles, you know?
Yeah.
You know? My Libra Mercury's dead at that point. I want people to
know.
100%.
And
again, it's just not even like, again, this isn't everything. It's certain fucking topics, certain fucking beliefs. Yeah. If someone I like says something that throws me off, I'm going to be like, huh? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So the other day, I can't really say what, but the other day, someone close to me was saying something, and I was doing my thing where I laugh, and then I was like, actually, I don't fucking agree with that at all. Like, I looked at and I was like, hey, what you're saying is tone deaf, and like, based off your experience, it makes sense why you feel this way, but a lot of people would think that's tone deaf. I had to say it because I'm just like, bro, like, you can't say shit like that. Like, I'm your friend, so I will educate you, but that was not cute.
Right. You're like, don't repeat that to anyone else.
No. Yeah. I don't like it.
Right.
Change that.
But no, I love energy that's confident enough to say that kind of shit. You
know
what I mean? Because not everyone is willing to.
No.
Not everyone is willing to stand in their truth when they feel things are wrong. Okay, so I wanted to share with you something very funny. Or what I thought was funny that happened this morning.
Ready. Oh, it happened this morning.
Happened this morning.
Oh my God.
Okay, so...
Is it another neighbor lore?
No, it's not. I haven't had anything with the neighbors recently, which is good. This was just like a Maya in her moment. Okay, let me just go through it. Okay. So, I was putting the dishes away, listening to Keisha Cole. I should have cheated.
Okay, setting up the vibe.
And I was like... You know,
I
should have cheated. Like, I was singing it with my whole chest and my back.
Like, if someone came through the door, they would think you just went through some shit. But you haven't.
Came through the door.
Stop! Your man.
Obviously, my man.
Wait,
I swear,
crying.
I did not hear him come through the door at all. Normally, I hear him come through the door.
Was
so that's how I know. I was like
sing those lyrics,
singing it.
Was he like, why are you feeling that so hard?
He was like, you feeling this, huh? He came to me. No, because Sarah, he literally said yes, because he surprised me. That's how much I was in the song. I'm telling you, I was feeling it. I was like, yeah.
Wait.
Not for Alex.
What did you... No, of course.
Obviously.
You guys, you know how many songs I listen to where I literally have nothing in common with any of the lyrics, but in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been there.
It's bringing me to my...
Yeah, or like you have, but it's about the past.
Exactly.
Yeah, like one of those songs that you used to listen to when you were going through it.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, when you listen to it, even now in your healthy girl era, you're going to be like, oh, my God. Way to take me back.
Right. And, sometimes you don't want to listen to it, but I was in the mood. I was like,
let me release some energy.
Hear that shit.
A part of you also heals, I think.
No,
people are like, don't get too nostalgic, and it's like, I'm getting nostalgic so I can feel the feelings that I was repressing.
Right.
So I could release.
So I can't have those intrusive shower thoughts later. You know what I mean?
You get the double for one. I'm not gonna lie. For me, I'll feel it randomly in the shower. It's always gonna be there.
No, I know. But
something about being naked with the hot water hitting your body, you can't help but feel bare and like
something
sad.
Is released.
No, seriously, on that demon time.
No, actually, similar. So when you're listening to a song from back in the day, that used to make you feel things, and the song made me feel a lot of things. I loved Keisha Cole, that was my
Keisha Cole
girl.
Question.
So
when he snuck up on you, what was your first reaction?
I was scared.
I was like, there a tone of like, I've been caught?
A little. I was like, have I been cheating?
Don't see me like this.
But no, I have not.
No.
But it was just like, kind of like, it honestly reminded me of when... Let's say I'd be in my room when we used to live together and you were like cooking. Yeah. And you would have your AirPods in and you wouldn't hear me necessarily. And then I'd be like, ah! I'd be like, hi! I would try to say hi like 3 times. And then finally you'd see me and be like, ah! Like true shock and fear.
Like as if I don't know someone lives
that
here.
I live with you and I haven't lived with you for the past 10 years.
Literally.
And that I will pop up.
Now you experienced.
Yes. Exactly. I'm like, oh, this is what this feels like.
It's scary because you're in the zone.
Yes.
my god, I'm crying.
Yeah, I was just like,
that is actually really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
That's so good.
And I wish the people could have seen the look on my man's face.
There's just
like,
something about, like, he was like,
like,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how is this based on a true story?
Who is you
0
about?
No, there's definitely songs like that. Also, there's certain artists, like, okay, Olivia Rodrigo, not my generation. I love her. Like,
Yeah.
she be singing about, like, being, like,
Hello.
in a teenage fucking...
Yes. Seeing you tonight. It's a
That
bad idea, right?
Like, I don't have any vampires around me anymore.
No,
but
at
I
all.
sing that song like everyone's taking advantage of me.
Right. I'm reminiscing.
Like, why would I not? This is
Right.
healing my
Not reminiscing,
inner
but, you know.
teenager.
Yeah.
You need to heal
feeling
your
it.
inner child. You also
Yes.
need to heal your inner teenager.
Yeah.
That bitch is a cunt. Good luck with that.
Right.
The
That
inner
takes
child's a
longer.
little bit easier.
Yeah.
The inner teenager, that bitch is dangerous.
Yeah. She's scary.
Yeah, when I dealt with my anger issues when I was healing her.
Yeah.
When I was dealing with my sad issues is when I was dealing with my inner child.
Yeah. I feel that.
You know, sometimes you just gotta validate your anger.
Yeah.
And that's validating your inner teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so true.
Yeah.
All of us as teenagers had some anger.
So
Some more
I
than
got the
others.
big deal. I got the big package.
Extra large.
The heavy and angry package. Okay, so I have the most Pisces fucking energy thing. So did you know that nostalgia was considered a disease in the 17th and 18th century?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. It was literally diagnosed as
Oh my
a
gosh.
disease, which
Wow.
is freaking insane because
Funny.
maybe I'm not the best person to be asking about this, but
Yeah.
I think nostalgia is a emotion that is necessary, but I do think too much of it will have you down bad.
Exactly.
Like, I could be probably better at not focusing on the past, but sometimes I feel like I need to listen to certain songs, watch certain movies, on the nostalgia of it all is like healing me.
Yeah, it brings comfort.
But also I know of certain times where I'm being too nostalgic, where I'm getting lost in the past, and I'm losing my sense of self, my current sense of self, by being too indulgent in the past.
Yeah, it's like you're enabling
and that's when I
it.
know I'm being toxic.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like I in my head I see like current Sarah like battling past Sarah, like telling past Sarah like I'm not coming back, like I'm happier here, and then past Sarah's like, no, like I want to feel these feelings again and again and again, and it's like, no, you're being obsessive.
Yeah.
That's gone. It's reached a point of like you're not healing yourself.
Yeah.
By overanalyzing the past, you're just deliberately hurting and punishing yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
It's a disease.
well, because sometimes when you're being nostalgic, it's not always about positive things.
No.
Right? Like
no.
sometimes you could be thinking negatively or
I
like
know,
thinking
I know.
back on a time that wasn't so positive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you get lost in it. And yeah, like if you're only living in the past, like
I mean, that's depression, really.
that's
Anxiety
terrible.
is living in the future, and depression
Yeah.
is too much living in the past.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think, though, that, like, most of the time, nostalgia is positive because you're remembering the good times. I do think there's also remembering the negative, and that's bad. But I think most of the time, at least for me, is me thinking about the good times and, like, missing it or just, like, over-analyzing it. And the fact of the matter is, it's not here anymore, and it was good for what it was. But really, you're just choosing not to remember the bad, because why would you remember the bad? Like, you're hyper fixating on the good of the past.
Yeah.
Because that's what your brain wants to remember.
Yeah.
Like, you're not remembering how shitty you were feeling at that time.
Right.
All the shit you were dealing with at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and that's
totally.
dangerous, too.
Yeah.
Because, again, I do see why I don't know if it's a disease, but I can see why they call it that. Because it's like you're really losing your sense of self in the present. Like, you don't have the energy to be focusing on your present self and what you should be doing right now.
Right.
You're literally sitting there, laying there, like, rotting. I'm here for a good rot sesh. But, like, too much of it where you're just laying there thinking about the past. Like, yeah, that is a sad, sad, sad thing to experience constantly.
Yeah, no.
Because that's not reality. You're being nostalgic. You're being DELULU.
Definitely. And sometimes I feel like it so depends on your mood of how you will experience the nostalgia. Like, you can't go into nostalgia already feeling sad, because then you're just going to go down, like, sad memory lane. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
And, like, be toxic of, like, okay, if that memory pops up, is it because I miss it? Yeah. Or is it, you know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking maybe critically in the sense of, like, oh, maybe I'm thinking of this because I'm triggered by it, but I realize I don't want this anymore, and that's why I'm triggered. You know what I mean? But, like, sometimes you're not in the right headspace to work that out. And that's the thing about nostalgia that I think can be very dangerous sometimes. I totally agree with you. It is ultimately, I think, a positive thing. Like, it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel connected to my past, to my friends, and people that I experienced it with, you know? Mm-hmm. It can bring so much joy. But again, if I'm not in the right headspace, like, it can also be very sad. And I can think of those exact same memories and only see the negative parts of it. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
The human mind is really,
perception.
Like, crazy.
Yeah.
And powerful.
Perception matters. And it's just, sometimes it can be a lot. I think maybe that's why we do like it, is because it makes us feel safe because it's controlled. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, that's what happened. Let's think about what happened. Let's think about the happy times.
Right.
Like, it feels good. You know?
Yeah.
I just genuinely feel like it's healthy to have certain nostalgic moments, days, periods. But if you feel like all you're thinking about is the past, then I would say it has reached the threshold of disease. Yeah. No, like like, if all you're doing is thinking about the past, you should consider, like, okay, there's something wrong. Like, I'm not happy with something in my life. Yeah. Because, like, all I'm doing is thinking about the past and how much better it was. Mm-hmm. Or all I'm doing is thinking about the past and, like, how stupid I was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, if all you're thinking, like, a majority of your time is taken up by what happened in the past, like, you're just not living your healthiest, most fulfilled life currently. Like, something's off currently. Yeah. Because the past is where you're the happiest, or you feel like you deserve to think about the past to be upset and sad and angry. Both of those things are, like, not healthy for you.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like you almost want to, like, if you're ready to experience nostalgia, you want to make sure you are going to maybe have the ability to be in control of it. Yeah. Because, again, it can be a really positive thing, but it can be negative and fuck up your whole day. Yeah. And honestly, fuck up many years and times of your life if you're not careful, because, like you said, it will keep you back. Yeah. If people aren't careful. And living in that energy, or even experiencing people who are in that loop, you get sick of it too. Yeah. You know, even if you love them, you want to be supportive of them, it's like, fuck, how much longer can I support you through this? Like, change. Yeah,
like, you're annoying. Like, evolve. Yes. Grow. Yes. It does become really, really annoying being around people that are stuck in the past too. Because no matter what, when I'm with you, like, we're not creating any space for something exciting and something new happening. Yeah. All we're doing is revisiting the past and your past and our past, or whatever it is. Like, it just becomes toxic for both of us. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be around you.
No, for sure. Like, there's value in revisiting the past. Don't get me wrong. But, like, if you're doing it too much, you're not living in the present. And that's what we ultimately always want to do, right? Yeah. Like, that's when you can be your happiest.
Well, like, you're betting it all on the past. You're saying that that's how good it could have been. Like, there is
that's so sad.
There's nothing that will reach.
We'll never top that.
Exactly. And, like, that's so depressing. Yeah. Like, you should always be assuming that, like, your best days are ahead of you. It's going to get better. And, like, I always remember this quote that's like, you haven't even had some of your top 10 best days yet. Yeah. Like, that's so exciting to think about. Mm-hmm. Like, some of them might have happened already, but there's still more to be added to that list. Right. And there's something exciting about that. Yeah. You know?
But if you don't think that way.
Yeah.
It may never come.
No, it's true, because you're manifesting it being on the down. Yeah. On the down.
Yeah. No, downward slope. I could see why it was called a disease back in the day.
Yeah, no, I see why it should be called a disease today.
It kind of should.
No, it really should. It's a fucking disease.
It is.
No, it is. Because if you have zero control of your mind, it will just take you down that loophole of, like, let's just start analyzing the past over and over again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're not letting it go.
Oh my gosh. And you give yourself no grace.
Yeah.
Like, overthinking what you did, how you could have done this, and then it makes you anxious.
Done. Like, it's done. You know? It's done.
Oh, God.
You can't change it. You can't. Do you have a time machine? Okay, that's what I thought. You can't change it.
Right.
Make your peace with it.
Right.
Make your peace with it. Laugh a little. It's really healing to laugh. I've reached a point of thinking about the dumb shit I did, and I just laugh at myself. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what can you do? It's funny.
Yeah.
She didn't know.
Also, like, you were out here doing your best at the time. And even if you could look back and say that wasn't your best, but at that time, that was your fucking best. So be nice.
And also, everyone has fucking memories like that, you guys.
100%.
Everyone has memories. Everyone has embarrassing moments that they wish they could have changed it. We all have it.
Right.
Like, you're not a weirdo.
We all have
making mistakes when you were younger.
Right. We all have our Jason Derulo moments.
We all fall.
You know?
It's all about whether you get back up.
Right. Just think it wasn't on that big of a scale.
It could have been in front of the whole fucking world. That's also another thing I think about with some of these dating shows. Like, I gotta give them grace. Oh. Imagine someone having cameras in front of you and your most toxic relationship the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just sad. It's sad. Like, these people are very much, they're bold, they're confident, they're courageous.
No, honestly.
For putting all their trauma and their real selves for the universe to see and judge.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I could do it in terms of, like, relationships and stuff, you know? I couldn't have people having opinions about the way that I was doing things that much.
Dude, and people are eating you up. Like, whether it's physically, your childhood trauma, your communication skills, your lack thereof of like, I don't know, like, just so many things.
So many things. Every little thing. And I say that because I analyze and nitpick at every little thing. Me too,
but I'm a nice person. I don't go and comment it under their Instagram. Never. I just talk to my best friend about it.
Right, it stays in this safe space.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to leave our socials somewhere around here.
If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, don't forget to leave us a review.
Yes.
5 stars. We appreciate the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm. Comment. If you're on YouTube, give it a little like or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We love you
so much.